Hi everyone, Roger here from Ask the Car Experts YouTube channel. Today we're going to be playing with a DEPSTECH professional industrial endoscope. So check this out. I was hoping that you could do this with this DEPSTECH video scope. This is freaking cool. You can actually have the front and the side camera on at the same time, and you have a dual screen display so you can look at both a front and side view at the same time. And it was cold enough in the garage that it's time to break out the garage heater that I bought last year, and I have a video on this, so I'll put a link up in the corner if you want to check out that video. This does a really great job in heating up the garage and helps keeps the fingers nimble. And I have an exhaust here from a B58 5 Series, and I had installed a full Dynon muffler on that vehicle, and I'll have an upcoming video very shortly for this install. We're going to scope a lot of different things with this DEPSTECH borescope. There's a reason why I like this one. I'm going to show you why. We're going to check the catalytic converter. We're going to scope inside of the radiator. I might pull the diesel flap off and take a look inside the intake manifold. We can scope inside the exhaust. We can look in the vents in the vehicle to see if you've lost something. Just a few things I found inside of a vent. I have found a diamond ring. I was looking for that for a customer, and I was able to retrieve a diamond ring from a vent under a seat. And I've even removed iPhones that have gotten jammed into the vents, where I've actually had to cut open the vent to get the iPhone out, because when they slide in, there's no getting them out a lot of times. Borescopes such as this are very affordable. I'll put a link up in the corner if you want to actually check this one out. Let me tell you why this one actually is a good choice right now. It comes with this nice case. Obviously you get a charging cable and instruction manual. It does have a separate screen, and I left that on. I'm going to peel that off now, which is a 5-inch screen with 1080p. Now on this one, the camera, which actually this has this nice little compartment here, is detachable, so this is replaceable separate. Gives you plenty of cable. A lot of times you almost feel like it's too much, but what I usually do is just wrap them up with the cords that it comes with, and then just leave a certain amount for automotive purposes. But you could use this to send it down your drain if you had a clog or something and you wanted to see what was going on. You can also use it inside your walls. Lots of different uses for having a video endoscope at home. It also comes with some attachments. So we have a hook attachment in case you had to put this on the end, find something and hook it to get it out. Most of them come with a magnetic attachment, which is this one right here. And that's got a nice strong magnet actually on it. Very good. And then I believe this is to remove the SD card. It's a little presser. So you can see it has a great magnet. I'm going to put those back in its little case. We're going to just use the borescope as is. So there's something very special about this specific borescope from DEPSTECH. There's a camera obviously on the very front with LED lights. You have your side camera, but this also has another side camera. So this is a double side camera and one front camera. So you can look at the front, you can slide it in, and trying to find your spot can be difficult. What you're trying to look at, try to get your orientation, you can switch the camera and actually look at the other camera. Now this also gives you another opportunity where if one camera is damaged from heat or from something that happened to it, you do have another camera as a backup. Most of these borescopes have one front camera and one side camera. This actually has 3 cameras. Let's get this set up for use. Okay, so we just have, basically it looks like a USB port for your output. That just plugs in there. I'm gonna disconnect one of these so I have some extra cable. Let's go ahead and turn it on and see what the screen looks like. DEPSTECH, and there we go right there. So let's take a look at the video quality. Now you can take videos and take individual pictures using this. So check this out. I was hoping that you could do this with this DEPSTECH video scope. This is freaking cool. You can actually have the front and the side camera on at the same time, and you have a dual screen display so you can look at both a front and side view at the same time. You can switch your camera view using this button right here. Press and hold, and it's going to change it. That's my front camera. I can change the brightness, turn it off and on. Press and hold again. It's going to give me my side camera B. It even tells you which one it is. There's my GoPro. and press and hold again, and we should be looking at the engine, because that's C, and then press it again and it gives you the combination of A and B now. So I got a dual camera set up. That's A and B. We also get C and A, which is the front camera and the opposite camera. And then we're back to number 1. That's pretty awesome. We can actually see a split screen of both cameras. All right, let's start using this. I have the front and the side on, and what I want to do is I want to scope inside of my failed radiator. This vehicle was overheated. I'm going to be getting to this head gasket repair very soon. Let's take a look and see what we can see using the side and front cameras inside of this radiator. So you can see right there, you know, look at that stuff. You see that white gel stuff? That's indicative of an overheat, and what happens is the coolant actually breaks down and becomes this gel, right? Oh my goodness, looks like a brain. So all of this stuff is in my radiator. Those are actually the radiator fins right there, and that's what the coolant passes through as the air goes across the metal outside aluminum, and the coolant passages are right there. But you can see the entire radiator. This is so cool. This borescope is the best to have a double screen view. Man, it's such a cool thing. And you can see I need to replace the radiator. Obviously the upper radiator hose is busted, but now I know that I have this contamination. I have to watch for this in the heater core as well. I could scope the heater core and see if I also have this contamination. So I'm looking under the intake manifold, and this is cool. I can see right there on camera B, which is my side camera, I have a leak at the banjo fitting of the Vanos. So I can actually go under the intake, which is actually one of the great ways to try to hunt things down, oil leaks. You can see if you have rodent or wiring damage, because you really can't see a lot of this stuff with the intake in place. This pipe right there, that's a coolant pipe that needs to be replaced when I replace the cylinder head, because that fills with condensate also. So let's just zip back out from under the intake and check out some more cool things. I want to say thanks for joining me. If you like this video, please remember to hit the like tab. It really helps me out pushing this video to more people. The more people that like it, the more YouTube metrics will show it, and it helps me out a lot, and I really appreciate it. Thank you to all my subscribers. Let's pull out an O2 sensor and take a look at the catalytic converter. I have not checked this on this. This is an O2 socket, and this is a go-to one that I like. I'll put a link in the description box or up in the corner for this particular one. You can see it just drops down over the O2 sensor like that. We're gonna put this on off and make sure, see I have a power supply right here, the cap's on because I don't want to short anything. And basically, whoa! That's what I don't want to have happen, right? So I should probably put the camera down and not hit the power cable. All right, I don't want to short anything here. Just want to remove this O2 sensor. So from here, you just lift it up, ratchet back around, drop it back down on your O2. Man, I should put some tape on that. Jeez, stay. All right, usually when they're loose, you can just work them free. This just pulls apart right here. There we go. Let's get this O2 sensor out. Stupid cover. So once you have an O2 sensor loose, you can take the wire and just twist the wire, and most of the time you can actually walk that O2 sensor out. And just use the wire to unscrew it. Just give it a little wiggle. And there she is right there, O2 sensor removed. Now we're gonna look inside the pre-cat O2 sensor hole our monolith looks like for our catalytic converter. So look at that, I can see where I'm at here, and here's my catalytic converter right there. And that is a good cat. I don't see any area where it's damaged, you'd actually see a hole or areas that are broken down. And this cat looks perfect. That's what it should look like. And we can get a little bit closer here. You can actually see the holes for the exhaust gases to go through. So that's what a good cat looks like. Now this Z3 doesn't have an under seat vent. That's where a lot of stuff gets into. But I do have the side vent here. So let's just take a look at what we can see using this borescope in the side vent. So I'm just up in the side vent here. And that is an air flap, a very dirty air flap. I mean, that's not uncommon for dirt and debris to get in here past the microfilter. So you can actually check your vents, you can see if you have any rodent debris, and then you can actually check to see if you have an air flap that might not be working correctly. So it's nice when you're not in split screen. We have this nice big screen right here. So I'm going to switch it to just B, which is a side view on this, because it gives us a nice big screen of what's going on. And I have an airbag light on that I didn't have on before, and I do have access to, at this OBD2 cover right here, the airbag module. So let's take a look and see. Hopefully no rodents got in here. There's my airbag module right here, and I could read out the numbers off of anything if I needed it. But I also just want to see if there's any damage, or I can check the wiring in here. Everything looks good, but it's just handy to have a borescope to see if you have any evidence of rodents, which I think that is not. Ooh, actually, nope, that's it. Look at that. That is rodent poop right there. So this car has had rodents in it at some point, and hopefully that's not what's happened and my wiring is not chewed, but there's evidence of rodents in this panel right here in this car. And that's another great reason to have a borescope to help find things like this. All right, can anyone guess what this is before I show you? It's kind of a cool looking cylinder almost, and it goes all the way back to this opening here. Let's come back, and we're actually doing a proctological exam here on this BMW Z3. So if you had a rattle from your exhaust, and I've seen rodents put all different things inside of an exhaust, we could actually scope the exhaust with this DEPSTECH borescope, and it gives a great picture of what's going on. Actually, it looks like a rodent couldn't actually fill this. Ooh, unless that's a side opening. Nope, no, that's just a weld. Okay. So the rodent could only fill up this baffle. This is the baffle in the exhaust, and they'd only be able to fill it up only so far. I have to say I'm really impressed with this DS520 professional industrial endoscope. Lots of different ways to use it. Another way that we use it in the shop is to read numbers off of components. Sometimes you have to get to injector numbers for calibrations that you can't see, like on an N63. You could actually use this to find the numbers you need, or part numbers for specific components in hard to reach places. There's so many uses. Until you have one, you don't realize all the uses of an endoscope. Having an automotive borescope to reach hard to reach places is a must for the home technician, or if you do it full time. So just like you saw, using a borescope saves time and prevents disassembling of components. I can actually identify that there could have been a problem with the wiring if I actually saw some rodent chew right in this location, just going through a small access hole. Now there's many different types of borescopes. I showed you one where I could actually see the tops of the valves, and it could actually move so we could see the tops. But this one has a lot of value because of the split screen. I really like that. You can see both the front and side, so you get a better idea of where you are when you're checking something, and you get multiple points of view. I hope you found this video interesting. It was actually a lot of fun checking out to see how bad it was inside of the radiator. I'm sure I'm going to find a lot of useful ways to use this borescope, so I just want to say thank you to DEPSTECH for making such a great product. This is the only one that I've ever seen with the split screen. What a great idea to have something like this. I'm sure I'm going to find hundreds of ways to use it.